Today we discuss all things fart.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
I recently tweeted, I live, therefore I fart.
Is that original?
Yeah, I just thought of it because it's true. We all fart if we're alive, and well, if you want to get technical, sometimes right after you die, you fart, or worse. So in this episode,
Postpartum.
I thought we should dive nose first into the topic of farting and discuss the etiquette and how you navigate the different social situations and scenarios that exist when one starts to hit you.
You need this kind of information in order to live a full life.
So I'm gonna present settings and scenarios, and I just wanna hear what you think about it, and then I'll weigh in, and maybe in the comments you guys can weigh in too. But this is an adult conversation, okay? So enough with the giggling,
but
kids.
Fart is going to be said quite a few times, so if you're not comfortable with that, then we won't be introducing fart noises though, will we, in post?
Maybe. I'm not gonna commit to not doing that.
That may happen.
The first setting I wanna present is just you're with your family. We're around the holidays now, so you're gonna spend a lot more time with your extended family. And I wanted to start here because your family and who you grow up with determines, there's a farting climate that's set up that then determines how you treat farting for the rest of your life.
What's your farting climate?
What's your farting climate in your house? And that's kind of your rules that you've started with. I mean,
Or you farted with.
Do you call it, what's the terminology?
Sorry.
And then is it accepted? Is it used for humor? Is it used for derision? What about for you?
I think a lot of this has to do, for me, I grew up in a family with just a brother, well, we had parents too. We weren't like Lord of the Flies, but it was all boys, and which is like my family, which is two sons. And so this is a fart free for all. If you got a fart, you let it out as loud and proud as possible. Everybody laughs. Mom kind of shakes her head. That's typically how it works in a family of boys. Not saying that there aren't girls out there who will let them rip. I'm just saying that if you got a family of all boys, it's almost a guarantee that it's a fart free for all.
I'll present the other side. My fart climate growing up, my dad's side of the family, my grandma, Nana.
Even I know about Nana's farts.
Nana will she'll be walking from the kitchen to the bedroom and it'll be like, fart,
walking
farts. And on my mom's side of the family,
she's not ashamed of it. She knows that you hear them, and
we all laugh, and it's great. So she set the climate. She set the tone, and it's like a middle C. And on my mom's side, my Papa Clyde, he would always just pull my finger, and it would
put the sound in there when I.
Well, I'm sorry, do it again. Pull my finger.
Yeah.
And it was just. It's oddly satisfying to pull your grandpa's finger and
it's like a machine. It's like interacting with a robot.
So farts were always seen as for comedic effect in my house. Now, my only rule is if you got one worked up, hit it for comedy as long as people can get away from it.
Oh.
But if get
away from the cloud.
Yeah, if there's enough space for it to disperse.
Okay, I just think the simple principle here is determine your fart climate. When you go off and start your own family, set the fart climate early, and you control that. And it doesn't matter if it's men, women, doesn't matter what the situation is, you can control your own fart climate.
I recommend using it for comedy. But let's move out of immediate family into love interest. Let's say you're on your first date.
I feel pretty strongly about this one.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I got one.
I think
on deck.
I'm not into a first date fart. I don't think that this is a good thing. I think that I go as far as to say that you should manage your diet in the days leading up to your date, and even the meal that you eat on the date, so that you don't have to worry about that. This is
manage
your
diet.
Hold and release later situation. Right, you hold and then you get to a place where you can release and you release them all.
But if you've got to do one, you got to perfect the upwind release. No, downwind.
Yeah, you haven't been hunting lately, have you? Hey baby, let me stand about 10 feet away. Let me know when you smell it.
Well, what if one slips out? What do you do?
Well, you have to then turn it into comedy is what I would do.
What do you say?
I'd immediately own it, and I would be like, I'd make a comment about what we ate, and you got any brewing in there? I don't know what.
No, you have to have a joke prepared, and mine is, whoops, that was me. I've never done that before.
Fart?
Yes, I've never
farted before.
And
That's funny.
All right, what if your date lets one slip out?
Leave.
No.
No.
You gotta be ready with a chivalrous response. At that moment, you'd be like, whoops, excuse me, I just farted, or tooted, or whatever.
You take the fart blame?
And then she thinks, wow, he farted at the same time I did. It's like we're star-crossed lovers.
There's no way she's gonna think that. She's gonna be like, he's a fart, he takes the fart blame, which could be weird.
I think that's chivalrous.
I'll just say, you can break new ground in a relationship by breaking wind early on. Because I do think that it will progress over time. But.
All right, so let's go that with, in a long-term relationship with your spouse or significant other, and you got some nitrogen dioxide.
Conventional wisdom, and this is not untrue, is that the frequency and the acceptance level of farts will increase as the relationship becomes stronger. So now,
sometimes my wife and I have been married as long as we have. We speak only in fart.
Yeah, like a Morse code fart situation.
Yeah, it's like
conversation.
I know what you're laying down, baby.
Now there's a couple of different philosophies here because there's definitely a keep the romance alive. It's the kind of thing, you know.
Right.
I think
there's a time and a place.
You have to pepper your life with farts from your significant other.
You got to scatter it.
You don't, but you don't want to. You don't want to overdo it.
No, I'm giggling like a schoolgirl.
We do know of people who've been married for even longer than us they've never audibly farted in front of one another. Which, first of all, I don't know how that's physically possible. But they're
both very bloated.
To me, I'm just like, come on, don't do that. At some point, you've got to break wind in front of each other.
You can't wait too late in a relationship to set the fart precedent. You got to get that thing out, or you're gonna have that's a painful precedent. To not fart, you know, you gotta burn a hole in your britches sometimes, and they just need to.
No, you don't.
You gotta know that you're gonna stay around for.
You're talking about lighting farts now? I don't advise lighting farts with your wife. That's like with your
honey, we're bored. What do you do? That's not. It was just a burn a hole in your britches.
Listen, when the lights are off, though, they do light up.
What about when you're around strangers? The worst case, you're on a plane.
You're stuck in some recirculating air.
That altitude is really making the rumbles happen. You're going butt burp.
I've had many flights ruined by the rogue farter. And here's what happens.
Oh, yeah.
You smell it, and you feel like on a 5-hour flight. Let's say, like, every 15 minutes, you're like, there it is again. It's the same person because it's so distinct.
It just like a cloud.
And then you're trying to guess who it's coming from by which nostril it hits first. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, that guy. And then you begin judging the people around you. Like, who is most...
Sizing them up.
Like, match the fart to the person.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Who in this group, that guy definitely would. Or, you know, and then you're judging people, and it might be the little old lady next to you. This is another hold and release situation. You have got, this is what the lavatory is for, okay? You got to hold them in, and then you got to get in line, you get in the lavatory. I mean, the suction that will come out of the bottom of that toilet, you want to suck that fart right out into the atmosphere is what you want to happen.
Sometimes they don't let you go to the lavatory, man. And at that point...
Luggage compartment. If you can reach it.
There was a New Zealand Medical Journal article that said that it does a body good to pass the gas at high altitude. So I just think you got to have that pulled up on your phone and just let them read the article as you're just letting it seep out.
I'm gonna pull the oxygen mask down though if I can't get out.
I would suggest bring your own scent overrider. Like I've got really like minty smelling lip balm that I like.
Putting it on your top, like putting it up on your nose.
The last time I was on a flight,
I got a chapped nostril.
I put chapstick up my nose for that reason. I'm not lying. All right, next scenario, you're in a car. Let's say this is with a friend, and I know that we recently dealt with this one. So you're in a car, one conjures. What should you do? What's the rules?
Between best friends, I definitely think this is comedy fart situation.
Yeah.
Farting for comedy effect. But we were recently on a camping trip together in Death Valley where we ate the same diet for like 3 days, and it included a lot of like fake eggs. And I think it had a horrible, horrible effect in our stomachs. And so on the way back from Death Valley, we developed a system where the comedy was long gone.
Oh yeah.
Where we would preemptively roll down the window, but it was a hold and release situation. You'd hold, and then once the guy rolled down the window, both would release at the same time. and they smelled identical.
And you would be like, hold.
Release. That was a bad night. That's a bad trip.
I don't know how I feel about like the kick we've gotten out of this conversation, but I do think this is healthy. I think we've started a healthy, respectful conversation that should continue in the comments section below.
Yeah, pull my finger. I just love that. I'm thinking about how that's gonna sound.
Thanks for liking and commenting on this video.
You know what time it is. We have a Twitter account, twitter.com/RhettandLink, and if you tweet something insightful or pithy about passing gas, we just might retweet it.
Oh yeah, click through the Good Mythical Morning where we describe the farting etiquette associated with classrooms and the workplace. You got to get in the know on that, so click on through.
Get in the know on that.
Rhett and Link wake up in the disco era.
That's gonna be great with sound.
He kept to himself, hardly talked to anybody.
He didn't keep quiet this day though.
Kept his head down.
Because there was a moment of silence and Tommy let one rip.